Hi, I'm Mel, and I am choosy. My ultimate skin goal is gusto kong mag-even out ang skin tone ko.
Hi, my name is Annapareddy. My skin goals are to become whiter, fairer, healthier, and younger.
It really shows na yung skin ko ngayon mas moisturized, mas glowing, and mas healthy.
Thanks to Glutasy, I got my skin tone back. Thank you so much, Glutasy.
Okay, and we're live. Good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon to our Zoom participants. Good afternoon to Marlene Arceo, Sharon Oliveros, Nikki Obanon, Errol Cerda, and also good afternoon to our FB Live viewers who are watching live streaming in our Facebook page. Good afternoon to Maria Concepcion Pinlock, Joanne Lea Senyahan, and Miss Evelyn De Castro, who is watching right now, and hi Joey from Singapore. Hello there. Welcome to another series of our HR Virtual Summit PH Bounce Back HR. It's another e-learning session powered by Ariva Academy. So my name is Irish Malanda Samson, your host, and joining me is Mr. Mabalot, Mr. Howell Mabalot as my co-host and our moderator. Hello, Sir Howell.
Hello, Miss Irish. I'd like to ask a question. Can you properly hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear, Sir Howell.
Kasi yesterday, grabe yung glitch natin technically, no? So thank you so much for that.
But so far, sir, loud and clear. So our topic for today is post-COVID-19, survive, thrive, and scale. And of course, we have invited again another global keynote speaker from Malaysia. Later, you'll be meeting him. But before that, Sir Howell, please join me in welcoming our participants who are
Yes.
who are watching overseas, and they are from Calgary, Canada, Montreal, Canada, Kowloon City, Hong Kong, Hubli, India, Kota Kinabalu, Malaysia, Petaling Jaya, Malaysia, Singapore, Dubai, and New York, United States. Thank you for joining us today in our e-learning session. And of course, in order for us to have a smooth flow of our e-learning session, here are the house rules. Let me know who are the first-time viewers here of our webinar. Please type hi in the chat box now. So who are the first-time viewers here? Please let me know. Let me know as well where are you from so we can greet you. So I will first greet, while waiting, I will first greet our participants who are watching right now on our FB page. They are Carrie Milano, Alvin Tan Kok Zeng. Good afternoon. Okay. Let's check. Okay, first timer is Sharon Del Paraz, Elsie Official, Angelie, Joanne Angelie, Marjorie Caubalejo, Sherilyn Robles. Welcome to our webinar. Oscar Tan, hello sir. Kennedy Capulong from Davao City, Jonelyn Villasin. Okay, and let's do a sound check now. So you will be needing a good quality headset. Let us know if you can hear us loud and clear. Please use the following codes. So type in now 111 to show if you can hear us. Bernard Ortega, Oscar Tan, thank you. Ray-Ban, loud and clear, audible. Erica, thank you. Pearl, Glorina, Elsie, Marjorie. Okay, so far, Sir Howell, clear and
Yes.
audible. So type in now 222 if you can't hear us. 2121 means the sound is breaking up, but so far clear. And question mark if you don't understand anything. Okay, so far 111. Moving on, we will be having a quick break later after the presentation of our guest speaker and before we move on to our question and answer portion. Participants' microphones will be temporarily disabled by the administrator during discussion to avoid interruptions. Questions will be entertained after each topic of the session. For questions and clarifications during the provided time after each topic, please click the raise hand button for the administrator to enable the microphone for live questions. Type in your questions at the Q&A box, and one question at a time will be entertained. For comments and feedback, please scan this QR code. Please send us your comments, suggestions, topics to discuss for us to improve our future e-learning sessions. And now to discuss post-COVID-19, survive, thrive, and scale. Mr. Howell Mabalat, please introduce our global keynote speaker.
Thank you so much, Ms. Irish, for the opportunity to introduce our global keynote speaker on the topic post-COVID-19, survive, thrive, and scale. He was born in India and has completed his college and traveled to Australia to finish his IT degree. And as a 20-year-old young boy, Vishnu began his career in door-to-door selling and started his first business at the age of 22 in Canberra, Australia. As a young and ambitious business owner, he expanded his business to Malaysia and then to the Philippines. Currently, Vishnu, as a senior partner, works with 25 business owners in his organization with 500 plus sales force. And this year, August, he is expanding his business to India. Let's now welcome none other than Mr. Vishnu Annapareddy. Welcome, sir.
Hi, everyone. First of all, good afternoon. I hope good afternoon in the Asian region. And if you're part of US and stuff, probably it's a bit early morning for you from New York. I'm a bit surprised that you guys can be on. So Irish and Howell, thank you so much for a great introduction. I appreciate your passion in introducing speakers. I have been watching this live webinar, like 4 to 5 parts of it so far. And Mr. Howell, every time you introduce the speakers with so much passion that even though it's afternoon, it brings so much energy to all of us. So
thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're honored by your presence and by what you will be sharing with us today.
Okay, great. So in terms of, I want to give, before we start into the topic, right, I just want to say a big congratulations, and personally from my side, a big thank you to Ariva Academy for taking up this webinar series. Yeah, I can tell you that the people that I have promoted this webinar online, a lot of people have seen the videos, are rewatching some of these videos, and some people who have missed it live are going back onto YouTube and watching. And they have been thanking me, but I think they should be thanking Ariva Academy for putting this whole series together, because you are touching lives of people, especially who have been impacted the most with this COVID-19. So I want to take, on behalf of all the global audience, on behalf of my team, and personally from my side, I want to say a big thank you and a huge congratulations for Ariva Academy for putting this together very quickly and very efficiently. So thank you, Ariva.
And thank you, Sir Vishnu, in behalf of Ariva Academy for being part of this webinar series to educate our professionals globally. Thank you, sir.
Great. So I would share my screen. So give me a second.
Yes, sir. So
Okay.
what will happen now is, even if you are still seeing me in the Zoom room, our Facebook Live audience and YouTube audience and LinkedIn audience will only see you and the PowerPoint presentation. But if in case you need me to do something, I'll be the voice behind your face and behind your presence. So we'll be here
Okay.
in tandem.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So I know there are lots of people jumping onto this, right? So first question that I have for all the audience on Zoom and also audience on Facebook Live Hi and and also YouTube Live Hi. But the question for people who are on Zoom is, this is my question to all of you. On a scale of 1 to 10, how participative do you want to be on this call, on this webinar today? How participative? 1 is, Vishnu, I don't want to participate at all. In next 1 hour, I might fall asleep. Don't disturb me. 10 is like, Vish, I want to participate. If you have a question, I'm happy to answer your question. Or if I have a question, I'll put the question in the Q&A tab. So put a number between 1 to 10. Okay, so Ida says 10, Sharon says 8. Okay, so the numbers are rolling. Oscar says 10. Okay, Zoe says 10. Okay, Mary says 10. Ben says 5. Okay, 10, 8, 9. Okay, Randy says 9. The numbers are rolling off pretty fast on the screen. So thank you very much. I expect this participation. Let's try our level best to make this two-way, and let's make sure we get maximum out of this webinar series. All of us, whether we are in Malaysia or whether we are in which part of the country, right? Different parts of the country, whether in Philippines or Malaysia, we all are experiencing this global pandemic, COVID-19. Now, if you think staying at home has been very challenging, guess what's going to happen post-COVID-19 when we are all getting back to work? For some of us, it's at the stage of surviving. And for some of us, it's the stage of thriving. And for some of us, it's the stage of scaling. And I can bet there are people on this call today who probably want to do probably in all the 3 stages. They need to survive post-COVID. They want to thrive profitability-wise, career-wise, and they also want to scale their career as they're finishing 2020 and coming into 2021. Whether you're an employee or whether you're a small business owner or whether you're a medium business owner, I'm sure all of us want to survive post-COVID, want to thrive, and want to scale. So I have put together 8 points. And I don't want to talk about the fluff stuff. I really want to give you some practical advice which you can take it and use it tomorrow. And as I'm going through this presentation, I want you to start thinking about, as you're listening, I also want to activate your action part of your brain where you're thinking about, this is a great point, but how do I apply? And start writing down that notes. How do I apply what I'm hearing? And hopefully after this webinar, you might put together some action points and you might talk to your team and you might straight away implement it and it might lead you to great results. So I'll start with the first point. The first one comes down to mindset. Yeah. So this is not the main point, but this is a side point which sets the context for all of us. So for people on this call, you might be in the mindset of failure, where you feel sorry for yourself, and whatever is happening, you feel it's unfair, you react, and you blame everyone. You blame the office, you blame your leader, you blame your boss, you blame the company, you blame the government, you blame everything possible. And some of us possibly can be in that mindset of feeling like a failure. Then some of you on this call are having a mindset of frustration. You don't know how to help yourselves. You feel painful. You're frustrated. You're angry. You feel anxious. What's going to happen when I get back to work? Will it be all same, or do I need to change? You had set some goals beginning of this year, and you're frustrated because you have not made any progress towards your goals. And some of you might be in that mindset. And the third group of people are the people with conventional success mindset. I don't know there's anything better that I can do. I used to do this before. After this COVID-19 finishes, when I get back to work, I will not change. I will do the same what I used to do pre-COVID, because that has given me status, that has given me lifestyle. I have made some incremental success, so I don't want to change a thing. I refuse to change, and I will wait for all of this to finish and do what I used to do and hope for getting a better result. So that's conventional success mindset. And the fourth mindset, if you see 10, 11, 12, that's transformative mindset. These are the people, whether it's in the presence of COVID or in the absence of COVID, they're always making things better. They're always looking to self-improve. They're always experimenting. They always feel that there are abundant resources available, and there are many ways of making things a bit more efficient, what you're doing. So they're always experimenting with the process, trying to get better results. So they have this transformative mindset, which is great. Now, the challenge is this. If you belong to a failure mindset, 1, 2, 3, or if you belong to 7, 8, 9, which is conventional success mindset, it doesn't matter. From my point of view, it doesn't matter whether you're listening to a lot of webinars or a lot of people are motivating you. It's hard for you to become successful. Why is it? To get started, if you feel sorry for yourself and if you have that failure mindset and you are not bothered to help yourself, it's really hard for anyone else to help you. So I hope we come out of this failure mindset. And if you're conventional success, the world after COVID is not the same as pre-COVID. We have to change. This is the new normal. I do, on an average, 10 to 11 Zoom calls per day. 0 face-to-face interactions. Before this, it was quite opposite. Maybe I would do 1 conference call and I would do 10 face-to-face interactions. The world is changing in the middle of COVID. The world will be dramatically different post-COVID. So the question is, are you going to change? Because if you're not interested to change, the world is going to change and that person will be left behind, and it's very hard for them to become successful. But if you're in this call and you're a bit frustrated, you're frustrated that you're not able to get close to your goals, that's okay. Because by watching the webinars, by reading the books, by reading the right articles, you might find some tools that would help you to bring clarity. You would find some articles that would help you to remove the confusion and give you the necessary clarity, which can help you to take the next step. But if you're already transformative, well done. This is nothing much because you always experiment. This is another experiment that's conducted for you by COVID, and you will transformatively change the processes that you're working with, the systems that you're working with, and make the necessary adjustments to go and hit your career targets and also hit the business targets that you have. But the key is to have the right mindset, because if the right mindset does not set in, then it doesn't matter who you're listening to. None of that would make any difference. So I hope you're either frustrated or you're already thinking of transformative things to do post-COVID, which will help you not only to survive, but help you to thrive and scale your career and scale your business. There are 2 words that you would hear the most in next 8 points. Yeah. There are things we need to forget. Doesn't matter, they have helped you a lot. If there are things that you need to forget as you come out of COVID and as you're trying to survive, thrive, and scale, there are things we need to forget. What are the things we need to forget? Will be in those 8 points. And as we are forgetting certain things, there are things we need to start focusing. And some of us would have focused on things pre-COVID, but some of us have not. And this is the time to start focusing on these things in order to survive, thrive, and scale your careers and your business. So what are the things we need to forget? What are the things you need to focus? We'll talk about this in the next 8 points. So these are the 2 words which will repeat in every point. The first one, if you want to survive, if you want to thrive, if you want to scale, forget about yourself and focus on others. And sometimes when I say this, people are like, Vish, when it's crisis, don't you think we should focus on ourselves? It's quite the opposite. The more you think about your career at this point, the more you think about your personal finances, you're going to isolate yourself a lot. And I can see, especially in States, when I'm talking to some of my friends and their colleagues, a lot of people are going into depression because the more they focus on themselves, the more they are isolating themselves. This is the opportunity to connect with more. Instead of isolating yourself, this is an opportunity to connect with more people. This is an opportunity to go out there and reach out to more people. Focus on others. See, what can I do? What can I contribute? What value can I bring to other people? And every time you focus on others, especially a situation like this, crisis like this, you're less anxious about yourself. I'll give you an example. When this crisis started in the month of March, in Malaysia, it started on 17th of March, and Philippines, if I'm not mistaken, 15th of March. So me and my team, we quickly put together a book series. And the idea behind this was very simple. We have selected 16 speakers, 16 individuals, and each of them volunteered to read one book. So this was, they were given a specific time frame, and they can read whatever book they like, mostly business related. And we said, whatever book you want to read, you read. So once you finish your book within the time frame, you need to come onto a Zoom call and share the book probably in 10 to 20 points. And if people have questions, they can ask you and you can answer the questions. And this was such a fantastic exercise because people, like, I know people who have not read 16 books in their whole lifetime. And there are people on these Zoom calls in 1 month, they went through 16 books because 16 people volunteered. We did not pay any money for them. If you read a book, we will give you 1,000 pesos or 100 ringgit, nothing. It was volunteer. They chose the book. They gave us a reason why they want to read this book and why they want to share this book. They came on the call and they started sharing the book that they have read. Such a great series. And I know it has benefited a lot of people who received the knowledge from that book that people have shared. But what many people don't realize is the people who actually took time to read, not for themselves, but for thousands of people coming onto Zoom call and shared that knowledge, that fulfillment has given them that new enthusiasm and new energy to get past the April. So that's what we call it as a book series, which was it was a team idea and it was fantastic. Nothing to do with money. It was volunteering your time and your knowledge and sharing that with people. Another example. As we are going through this COVID crisis, there are people who are still at the background working very hard in our teams. And what we decided the other day, me and my administration team, with the help of my administrator, Wang Fui San, we decided that, hey, why don't we buy food? They can't come to office. we can't meet them physically at this stage. Why don't we buy food and Lala move the food to their respective house? And that's what we did. And and it was just an element of surprise. It shows you care for your people. And I know it brought a great delight to them, but more than anyone, it brought a great delight to me. And that gave me so much energy. And I see people doing that all over the organization now. Forget about yourself. Focus on others. That's how you will be stress-free. And you will have so much energy if you can bring value. All of us on this call are good at something. Trust me, you're good at something. Go to Facebook. Share what you know. Some of you are really good at time management. Some of you are extraordinary at managing a small business. Share your insights, not for money, but trying to bring value. And people might have questions in the comments. Answer those questions. And the energy that it gives you, you can surpass any crisis. And that really helps you to survive, thrive, and scale post-COVID. So forget about yourself. Focus on others. Second point, forget about losses and focus on opportunities. I'll give you a classic example, right? The business that I work with and the 25 business partners that we work with, we are in face-to-face sales and marketing. So our organization is called AGL, Ambition Growth Leadership, and we work with SalesWorks Philippines and SalesWorks Group Asia. We work in 8 countries. And we are instrumental in having a face-to-face conversation. We have, just to give you an idea, in the 8 countries we work with, we have 50,000 face-to-face conversations per day. That can be the mall activations, that can be business-to-business conversations, that can be a street-based conversations with lots of clients that we work with. And once the COVID hit us, there are no more mall events. We can't visit any offices because offices are closed, and there are restrictions and there are rules, and we have to follow the government guidelines and restrictions. So we have nothing to do. And that's a huge loss for all the brand ambassadors that are working with us. That's a loss for the business owners that are working with us. But what do we get focusing on the losses? Nothing. If focusing on loss can help you to get more money from the government, that'll be fantastic. We will all sit down and focus on our losses and stuff. It does nothing. Talking about your losses to your friends, you get probably sympathy, but nothing. So we asked ourselves, what should we focus on? We can't do face-to-face marketing. It's done for the period of time until the malls open, until the COVID thing finishes and stuff. But what can we do during this time? Then we asked ourselves, what are the opportunities available for our people? And I'll share a quick story with you. 2 weeks ago, we put together a team of 5 people. And for the first time in the history of our company, we're a 25-year-old company. We started in 1995 in Malaysia. For the first time, we focused on telemarketing opportunities. We were proud and loud face-to-face marketing, which we have not done in last 25 years. But because of COVID-19, now our expansion opportunities, our diversification opportunities are more focused on telemarketing and are more focused on working towards building the telemarketing team. So the question is, what are the opportunities that people on this call have? How can you divert yourself? How can you refocus yourself on the opportunities instead of counting on the losses? So we focused on telemarketing. What can you focus on in your own industry? So that's something for you guys to think about. So forget about your losses, focus on opportunities. Third one, forget about your difficulties and focus on progress. I'm sure all of us are going through difficulties. Yeah? When we wanted to focus on starting either a new campaign in terms of here telemarketing or anything, there were lots of challenges. We could not get, there's lots of data privacy challenges. We were trying to get telephony system working, but that was not working. So instead of focusing on difficulties, Vishnu, I have an idea that I want to try, but this is the roadblock, this is the roadblock, this is the roadblock. My point is, let's get started and let's make progress. We had lots of challenges when we are trying to get the telemarketing work. But what we have done is we started focusing on making a progress. Instead of trying to organize something big with 500, 1,000 people, we started testing with 5 people. And we made progress. And we are planning to put 20 more people to work on that and then reach it to 100. So the question is, what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on difficulties or are you focusing on progress? Let me share a quick example. Business education program. We launched this part of helping internally our brand ambassadors and stuff. And I'm very proud for the people who are joining Ariva webinar series, because this is your opportunity to make progress. Some of you are picking up the skills you always wanted to pick up, but you never had time. Remember, you always said, I wish I wanted to have more time, but I never had time. But now we have the time. And I'm proud of people who are coming on to webinars, who are picking up skills, because you are making progress. That is the key. Because when you make progress in your skills, that has an impact post-COVID, as you are focusing more on surviving, thriving, and then taking your career, scaling it, and growing it to the next level. Okay? So guys, if you have questions, I see questions coming through. If you have questions, you put it under Q&A, and we will answer your questions part of your Q&A, okay? So hope that helps, yeah? So I see lots of questions popping up on the screen, but if you can put it under Q&A, we have time allocated to answer your questions. So I'll just come back. So forget about your difficulties, focus on the progress. If you're making progress during these tough times, that's great. The skills that you're gaining by joining webinars like this, you would be able to put those skills for test once you come out of COVID, and that's where you gain experience and you survive, thrive, and you scale your career. So forget about difficulties, focus on progress. The next point that I'm going to share, the 4th point, is a bit controversial point. Many people don't agree with it. And I am like, but that's my personal opinion, and I'm happy to share always my personal opinion. There we go. Uh-oh. Did I miss it? Hang on. Yeah. So forget about future and focus on today. These are tough times, yeah? I can imagine people losing jobs. I can imagine people taking pay cuts. From my own business, I have taken a pay cut for 3 months. And it's a very difficult period. Some countries, the governments are great. They're able to provide great support. And some countries, developing countries, not that much great support. Future is ambiguous, yeah? And especially during crisis like this, I strongly suggest you to focus on today. I'll give you an example. This is a roadmap that I have used to build my companies, yeah? We always set BHAGs first, big, hairy, audacious goals. That's something that we have always set. And then we start putting goals for next 3 to 5 years, depends on how big the business is and what business that I'm working on. Then we set some targets for 1 year from now. And then we set targets for the quarter, which is 3 months. So we divide 1 year into 4 quarters, yeah? And this has really helped us. If I do my work for this quarter, and if I achieve my targets for this quarter, it will help me to get closer to the year-end goals. If I achieve my goals for this year, it helps me get closer to my 3 to 5 year goals. And if I do that, it gets me closer to my big, hairy, audacious goals, which is generally 10 years from now. But the problem when we are facing crisis like COVID-19, it's even hard to plan for the next 3 months. For example, I was supposed to start a business in India in April. That was out. So in April, I started writing notes and put some plans. If it's not April, I hope COVID would finish by end of April, because at that time the lockdown was till end of April. So I thought by May we can start, and we can start working in May and start planning for launching this new business in India in May. Then May came in, and May, we are almost at halfway of May. And still the cases in India are rising. My point is, every time I planned for next 3 months, I had to rewrite my plans all the time. And it's very frustrating. I felt helpless. I was not in control of what was happening around me with this COVID-19 situation. I was not in control of how many cases in a country. I was not in control of immigration. I was not in control of the vaccine. I was not in control of what are the government rules and restrictions. I was not even in control of my own plans. And that was really frustrating. And the stress level was going up. And I'm like, I always plan for 3 months, and I plan for next 3 months. After 1 week, I have to change everything because it's not happening. Then I plan B. After 1 week, I have to change everything because nothing is moving and it's getting worse. And I found through an article that forget about future, focus on today. I started writing, what can I do today? And I started making a very simple list. Today, I'm doing a call with Ariva team at 3 p.m. At 2 p.m., there is a quick call with Ariva team before we start. And at 9 a.m. this morning, I had a call with my designer, Jill Farhado, to talk about the slide designs and final touch-ups. At 5 p.m. today, I'm having a call with some of my Malaysian team. And that's it. And I write this down every day, what I'm doing on a paper. And as I do it, I started ticking it. This done, this done. I felt like I was in control of my day. And that really helped me. I felt like I'm in control of my work. I'm in control of my day. Instead of trying to focus on 1 month from now, 3 months from now, all that kind of stuff at this stage, I really want you to, whatever you can do today, do to your best and don't worry about tomorrow. If I can look after today, tomorrow will look after itself. So one of the biggest takeaways for me was, forget about future during this time, just focus on today. And whatever you're doing, you should be able to give a 5-star rating to whatever you're doing. Whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say you have 5 things to do today. Do your best in those 5 things. Get it done. And everything 5-star rating at the end of the day. You're in control. And I'm telling you, if you can do that, not only you'll survive, you will thrive and you will scale your career and your business moving forward. 5th one, forget about who you are and focus on who you can become. So let me activate all our participants who said they want to be extremely participative. Yeah. I want you to open up your chat boxes and I want you to quickly type in, what's your current designation in your company? Put it up. What's your current designation in your company? Okay, HR admin manager, great. Sharon, senior training analyst, director, assistant manager, executive assistant, HR and communication assistant, comptroller, okay, executive account chief, corporate executive, sales, construction, housekeeping manager, supervisor, property specialist. Great, 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 great. So there are lots of executive people, there are lots of senior executives, there are lots of managerial and also senior manager capacity people. If you want to survive this COVID, and if you want to thrive and you want to scale, one of my biggest suggestions is you have to forget who you are. What does that mean? I learned this from my trainer. Yeah? He's my coach. He's my mentor for last 15 years that I have been working with him. And he told me, Vishnu, you have to go 2-level down approach. If you want to survive post-COVID, whether you like it or not, it's going to be challenging. Whatever was abnormal is the new normal post-COVID. And if you want to survive and you want to lead your team through this survival to the stage where they can thrive, to the stage where they can scale, you need to have a 2-level down approach. Let me explain what's 2-level down approach through a practical example. So every example I'm giving, you can start thinking back to your own position and how you can apply. Marcy is a Filipino business owner. He's a promoting business owner. He runs a great company called Mo Marketing Solutions back in Ortigas. And we call him Jason Robbins Dye. We call him JR. He's a business owner in Philippines, very young entrepreneur. He's a fire marketing group in Makati. I told them, as business owners, you have to go 2-level down, probably as an assistant managerial level or to probably a team leader level. And you have to work in your business as if you are team leader, if you want to survive your business. I'm the senior partner. If I take 2-level down, so I'm a senior partner, a level down would be organizational head, a level down would be a senior promoting owner. I have to work in my business, in my company, not as a senior partner post-COVID. I have to work as a senior promoting owner. I have to bring myself down 2 levels. I told Marcy and I told JR, you can't be like business owners sitting in your office like you used to last time and running some high-level meetings. Cannot. The business won't survive. There is no wishing, I wish. There's no more, I wish it used to be like that. No. And you have to be with your people, especially if you're on this call and you're leading people. You have to be with your people. If you're a sales manager, you got to be with your sales team. And you have to go to the field, you have to be with your customers, you have to go and spend time with your sales team. Forget about who you are. Because by doing this 2-level down approach, you will work to who you want to be. I share this with my teams all the time. There is no point of bouncing back post-COVID. Yeah? No point of bouncing back. Bouncing back means you bounce back to where you used to be. And if you bounce back to where you used to be before, it doesn't work, guys. You need to bounce forward. You need to learn from this. You need to make your systems in your team. You need to make your processes in your business a COVID-proof moving forward. If this happens again, how can your team get through this seamlessly rather than struggling like how they are struggling now? That can be as a department head, that can be as a senior person in your business, or that can be you as a business owner. 2-level down approach. Then you will not only get back to where you used to be with your title, but I believe you will thrive and you will scale to new heights. For the people who are attending this webinar, and some of you have been very, very disciplined to attend every webinar and take down lots of notes and work on some of the actionable points. I'm telling you, you will bounce very forward. And not only you will bounce forward, the people who follow you will also move forward, and the business that you're working with, the company that you're working with will move forward. You will become the most valuable person in your company. And how can a company lose the most valuable person? So bounce forward, take to level down approach once this COVID thing finishes and once you're getting back to your team. Because not only you want to survive, you want to thrive, and you want to take it to the next level by scaling up. Sixth one, forget about events and focus on responses. This is my favorite. I do a lot of consulting work, right? And I was talking to one of the businesses, and this is in Philippines, yeah? And this business owner told me, Vishnu, I cannot recruit. And I'm like, I understand. Not only you cannot recruit, no one can recruit face to face because you can't ask candidates to come to office. And then they asked me, like, Vish, how do I respond to this challenge? And then I coached him. What can you do in crisis like this where you can't meet a potential candidate for an interview? And I said, why don't you reverse the roles? If you're the candidate and you can't go for an interview with a company, but you really want an opportunity to work, what do you expect the company to do to you? Vish, I hope the company can call me and do a telephone interview. I'm like, yes, that's a great idea. What else you would expect the company to do? Vish, there is Skype. I heard something called Zoom. At the time, Zoom was not famous. You go to January or December last year, not many people have heard of Zoom, yeah? Vish, yeah. Maybe I want the company, maybe they can do a video interview of me. Okay? Get back to your original role. You're the company. What can you do? Yeah, we can do video interview because we can see the candidate instead of just a telephone interview. Great. This is Zoe. Zoe is one of our business partners. She runs her office in Makati and Davao, Filipino. And great job. She has put up the online recruitment. She learned how to use Zoom. I can tell you the first 10, 15 times she used Zoom. I'm telling you guys, for people on this call, for me, even though I'm doing so many calls, I am not comfortable to see my own face on the screen while I'm talking to someone else. Especially, I don't know who that person is. Thank God I'm sharing screen, so I can't see my face. I can only see Sir Howell's face. But as uncomfortable it is for you, so also for the candidates. But this is the new change. And she's doing a fantastic job, and she's leading the online recruitment in Philippines. And that's Paolo and Dimple, who are also doing a lot of online recruitment, and they run their own businesses in Quezon City. But not only they have done online recruitment, they're also doing online training. Because they're like, we don't want to wait until the COVID-19 finishes, then people are all ready. No, Vish, this is the downtime. Let's maximize the downtime. Look at what Ariva is doing. Ariva is not waiting like, okay, let first the COVID finish, let the government ease the restrictions, then we will start maybe online, or then we will start maybe seminars. They're not doing that. They're like, whatever happens, it's out of our control. Ariva started focusing on what's in our control. Yes, we can do webinars, that's in our control. We can get in touch with the speakers, and we can have some programs for people who want, and we can do our part to help the community that we are working in. Great. And they came up with this in record time. So don't focus. So coming back to the point, don't focus on events. Focus on responses. How do you respond to this COVID? One of my friends is like, oh, I had pay cut, I have doing this. And I'm like, the more you focus on that, you're going to be depressed. Let's focus. Let's turn the focus into a response. How are you going to respond? And especially for people on this call, if you're a leader, and I believe everyone is a leader at a personal capacity or at a professional capacity, if you are a leader, which I believe you are, the way you respond to this event has a big impact on the people around you who are looking for your leadership. If the leader complains, then the whole team complains. So how are you responding? Ariva at a business level is responding like this. How can you respond at your level? And the way you respond makes all the difference. So forget about events, that's out of your control. Focus on responses, which is in your control. Okay, last 2 points. Forget about what's missing. People always talk about, oh, what's missing? Did I go through? Okay. So forget about what's missing and focus on what's available. So this is the question to all the people in the chat, right? People on Zoom. Quickly type in, what are the things that you're missing because of this COVID-19? Put it up in the chat group. What are you missing? I'm just curious to know.
Okay, everyone in the Zoom room, please type in your answer.
Okay, going out to the beach. Okay, my retreat work. Yeah, chat in the pantry. Travel. Eating out. Employees relationship. Yep, going out with friends. Yeah, travel. Yeah, interaction with the team. Yes, outings. Travel, face-to-face interaction. Church activities. Friends. Missing my co-workers. Face-to-face classes for our nurses. Engagement. Hangout. Business. Social nights. Yes. Thank God someone mentioned social nights. Like no one was mentioning drinking and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, what happened? I miss social nights a lot. Hang out with the team, great. Hugging, yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm missing. That's what everyone is missing. But focus on what's available. Internet is available. I don't know whether, like, I don't know if it happened to you guys, but I'll tell you it happened to me. And if anyone can relate to this, put it up in the chat. Pre-COVID, there were a lot of Netflix series that I wanted to watch. And my excuse was, oh, I didn't have time. Oh, I didn't have time for that. I didn't have time. And I used to watch some like Narcos and stuff, and some I missed it. Yeah. And during this quarantine period where everyone is sitting at home and not doing much work, and found a lot of time, I focused on what's available. I have time. So I put a checklist of all the Netflix series that I always wanted to watch, and I finished all of them, which I'm very, very happy. Quick question, put up your favorite Netflix show that you have seen during this quarantine period. Your favorite Netflix show you have seen during this quarantine period, not before, during this quarantine period. Okay, Money Heist, Chloe, Prison Break, Last Kingdom, The Witcher, Money Heist, okay, Chloe. Crash Landing on You, okay. Okay, The President, Last Dance, I love, there's a lot of, yeah, sorry, I can't read all, but. So focus on what's available. Yes, I miss the social interactions, especially with my team. That's why we have a happy hour on Zoom. So 2 Fridays ago, we had a happy hour on Zoom. So all of us had a drink. This is the new reality. Virtual reality is the new reality. We all had a drink and we all opened up and had a conversation and things like that. So focus on what's available. I'll tell you, Paolo and Dimple, who are running the business in Quezon City, they're focusing on doing online games with lots of their team members. I know House Party is pretty big in Malaysia. I can imagine it's pretty big in Philippines also. How many of you, quick shout out of yes or no, play House Party with friends and family or with your teammates from work? Yes, no on the chat group. Yes, yes, yeah. Okay, Ben Francis says yes, okay. So House Party is pretty famous in Malaysia. It's also famous in Philippines, yeah? Great. Good to see that. So focus on what's available. Online, webinars are available. Opportunity to upskill is available and not even need to pay any money now, which is great. So the point being is, forget about what's missing. We can't do anything about what's missing. Let's focus on what's available and maximize it. The last point, forget about complaints and focus on gratitude. I can't emphasize this much. Oh, my company, my boss, my leader. Focus on gratitude. I'm telling you guys, the more you complain, the more angry you become. The more angry you become, you want to do something. When you're angry, you want to do something. And then you realize you can't do anything. You can't even come out of your house. What can you do? Correct? And then you become depressed. Vicious cycle, you don't want it. Focus on gratitude. A lot of people, and trust me, I did this, beginning of this, I used to complain about a lot. Why is the government not supporting? Why is the government not supporting businesses? They should look after small businesses. So many things I used to complain. But then I realized, if I can be thankful to what I have, and if I can appreciate what I have, I can welcome many more things into my life. You can't be bitter and be successful at the same time. Cannot. I've never seen people who are bitter and became successful at the same time. You've got to be having that attitude of gratitude. There are people, whether you had a pay cut, whether you had a challenging time in the business, there are people who are working in the background. When was the last time you said thank you to them? When was the last time you said, thank you so much for organizing this? I know you're doing your best to help the whole staff. I just want to say a personal message of thank you. And when I say thank you, many people think, and we are about to launch this thank you campaign in my organization. Yes, the recipient of thank you feels very good. But more than the recipient, the person in the first place who said thank you experiences the happiness first, even before it reaches the other person. Even before the smile goes to the other person, you experience that. When you send a message, only the person can read that message, and that's when they'll experience the happiness. But the moment you have sent that message, you would experience that gratitude. The mere fact, today all of us can be on this call, we should already be very thankful. I come from a country, India. As we are speaking today, there are hundreds and thousands of people who do not have transportation and are walking from one province to other province because they don't have enough money to stay in that province. We call them as migrant workers. They leave their province, they go to another province like a city to look for jobs for daily wages. And because generally construction businesses, and everything is closed now. They don't have enough money to stay in the city. So they want to go back to the provinces. Public transports are closed. But they can't stay because they don't have the money. There are people for last 8 to 10 days are still walking back to their province. What is your problem and my problem? We are at the comfort of our homes. We have internet. And we can do things like this, and we have problems. Forget about complaints. Focus on gratitude. The day you realize how lucky you are, trust me, guys, all of you will welcome a lot more things into your life. Say thank you to people. I want all of you on Zoom. Let's say thank you to Ariva. Let's open the chat group now, and let's say thank you for Ariva. Even though they are facing challenges, they put this together. Let's say thank you to Miss Irish, Sir Howell. Let's put these messages up. Let them experience what you're experiencing, but also allow yourself to experience that attitude of gratitude, because that's what is going to help you to survive this COVID-19, and not only survive, it will help you to thrive, and it will help you to scale your careers moving forward. A lot of people are experiencing these emotions now. So I hope you will be part of this thank you campaign and start sending thank you messages to your loved ones, thank you messages to your co-workers, even though you used to fight when it was pre-COVID for different reasons, and to your managers, to your superiors, and to your owners, the business owners who are working tirelessly in the background to make sure the business can stay afloat so that they can support you. So it's an opportunity for you to say thank you and send a personal message to them. I think in terms of gratitude, in the mix of all these things, the pollution globally has come down because we are not driving much. And I think we have put the face mask on Mother Earth, and we are protecting the Mother Earth. And all of you are part of this program of looking after Mother Earth. Now we see more blue skies than ever before. And I want you guys to be thankful for what nature has been giving us. And sometimes we take it for granted, and we should not take it for granted. And this is a big lesson for all of us. But today, all of you are truly looking after the Mother Earth by staying at home. 2 words that will really help you. 2 words that will really, really help you to survive post-COVID, because it will be challenging whether you like it or not. It will be a lot of changes, and thrive and scale is focus and discipline. You need to focus on the priorities that you have once you come back to work, and you need to have the discipline to stay and keep your priorities and your energy working on those priorities. So if you're focused and if you're disciplined, not only you'll survive post-COVID, you will thrive and you will scale. You can reach me on any of these handles. I write a lot of articles. R2R is Road to Recovery 2020. I want to do my bit to help people who have lost jobs by writing articles of inspiration, articles and ideas, and sharing those ideas with people, and can create some sort of impact on the community. If you want to reach, these are the handles. As a business, we are also currently hiring. So I'm sure you have friends who have lost job. We can, if Jill is on, Jill can put the link on the chat group. So you can send that link to your friends who are looking for a job. You can scan the barcode, can help people to find a job and have an opportunity for people to work. And from me, a big thank you to Ms. Irish Howell. Thank you so much. Also to Ariva, and also for the global audience for joining this. And hopefully there are some key takeaways that might be useful for you as we are finishing this topic. And if you have any questions, please put up your questions under Q&A. I'm more than happy to answer your questions. Okay?
Thank you so much, Sir Vishnu Annapareddy. Everybody put your hands together. Wow, truly inspiring. And we are truly grateful for teaching us to refocus and reframe our minds. Because the truth is, what's on the left side, which is the things that we have lost, it's truly overwhelming. It could be paralyzing, sometimes depressing. But with the reframing of mind, when you taught us about focusing, though there will be an effort needed, it will be worth it. And it truly was worth it. So again, in Tagalog, maraming salamat po, Sir Vishnu.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so don't you go away, everyone. We'll be pausing for a break. It will be a 2-minute break so that the Zoom participants will be able to type in their questions at the Q&A box. And so that we can gather all the FB Live questions, our technical team will forward them to us. And at the same time, our YouTube viewers can reach out to us. The LinkedIn viewers can reach out to us. And if the first part has been inspiring, I'm sure the second part will even be more inspiring because it will be personalized. And we hope to see your face, not only hear your voice and read your questions. So don't go away. We'll be right back in 2 minutes. We promise.
Thanks, everyone.